Hi, this is Laura, and I would like to share with you our activities for week 7 of the course. When you click on the modules link, you're going to get into the area for each week's modules and scroll down. You will see week 7, and you should be comfortable now with the flow of the course. Each week you have an overview, you have learning materials, a quiz, an application activity, and then typically you have a critical thinking assignment or a discussion activity. In this particular week, in the overview, our assignments are all related to the concept of managing teams. And so please take a look at the module learning objectives. You will be doing things to identify the benefits of working in teams and what makes them effective. And then you'll be thinking about and describing key considerations in managing teams, identifying the benefits of conflict within teams, and describing how team diversity enhances decision-making and problem-solving, and identifying some of the challenges and best practices for managing and working in multicultural teams. Here are the activities that you have due this week, and then when you click on the next, you're going to get into all of the materials for this week. You will see, as you typically have, the link to the textbook, the PowerPoint, and the PDF of the textbook chapter 15, and then some materials that I've also provided: how to improve teamwork. It's an article, and then here's some videos and media for you to check out. Also, you will find in the PowerPoint, which if you click on it, it will load, and you will have a variety of materials in that, and you can check it out and hopefully get some additional guidance from that about the managing teams concept. So you'll see some of the items in here related to our objectives. There are some videos, this TED Talk that will give you some background on managing teams. And here's the power of teams. You'll find out as you go. These are kind of the key areas of managing teams. They go through very often couple of stages, what's called forming, storming, norming, and performing. And this is when a team first forms. So you have this, what's called task focus on one axis and relationship focus. So what you're going to see is when a team first forms, they're very task oriented. That's in this forming. That's when they first get to know each other. The storming is sometimes where they might have a little conflict, understanding their roles, getting settled in, but the relationships you'll see here are starting to form. Norming is once people get settled into their roles and they will get comfortable with that and understand what their assignments are. They start getting along, and that's again where along this axis you see the relationships improve and you see the tasks improve, and then eventually they get to performing. And there's one other step here that isn't noted, but there is one when sometimes with teams where they need to basically break up the team because, let's say, the assignment or the task is done. So there is a potential step here for when the team breaks up. And then you'll see here team performance. You have these team effectiveness and impact, that a high-performing team, of course, is the most effective and gets the most done. And then team development is another area where, and here's where management comes in. You have the manager, the individual, and the team. So when you are trying to build a team, what's important is you try to work with each individual to develop a team, and that is the role of the manager. Each individual has a responsibility to be a teammate, but it is the responsibility of the manager to be a team maker. All right, so those are some of the key things. Some other parts that you might see in this related to conflict. Some conflict can be constructive or destructive. What you'll see as the primary difference is that when it's constructive, your conflict can be active. It can be taking statements such as I feel, I will, taking ownership. When it's passive, there's some things that are can be useful, like when people are reflecting or they delay their responses. But things that are destructive about conflict are when people pit one another against each other. There is a competitive spirit of winning or losing, when you avoid conflict or you criticize others. The last thing I'd like to cover here is about conflict. There's another video here that's useful talking about conflict. Use it, don't diffuse it. And oftentimes as you get more mature in your management style, you'll feel more comfortable with conflict. There are people that never feel comfortable with conflict, but don't hesitate to kind of work through it. That is a key element of being a manager. And that's the essential elements of the PowerPoint and of that chapter. What you'll have in this week also are some activities. You'll have your typical quiz. You will have the application activity. Please get started early on this. This one is requiring you to interact with one another. You will do a search on a effective or ineffective team management strategy, an article or a video. You're going to share. Make sure you read all the instructions. You're going to share the link in your post and write up some healthy paragraphs about what you learned about managing teams, and then you're going to also respond to one of their classmates' post by reading or watching the resource they provide, and then again commenting in 1 to 2 healthy paragraphs. So do that early so you'll have time. And then you will have another kind of peer assignment, meaning that it's another discussion board, but this is part 3 of developing your management and leadership philosophy. You're going to be putting together a draft of your philosophy and sharing it here, so make sure you read everything, and there are some examples, and here's a template you can use, and here's a bunch of references that I've been providing and some examples. And so you're going to want to submit a draft of your philosophy and then engage with 2 other students. Make sure you look at the rubric here for the requirements. And then that wraps up our week, and you'll see the announcements also summarize everything that we'll be doing. And please keep me posted. Go back to the module area and review the overview for the week if you are wanting to make sure you get everything done. Thank you.